become 3 to 6 inches taller, just depending on, if they get 1 or 2 procedures. Pretty minimally invasive. It's
You see that?
guided by
Three
X-ray.
to
So we do
six
the entire
inches
Did
surgery
taller.
you
by
see
X-ray. So it's
the
4 to
height
6
thing
very small
that it just
incisions
showed
that
up
we
there?
actually place
Yes,
around the
yeah.
thigh or the lower leg,
Because that was kind of. Did you see the
depending
difference?
on,
Look on
if
the
they get
left
1 or
and
2
right. Look at
procedures.
that right there.
Pretty minimally
Look at
invasive.
that.
It's
Lengthening surgery. Oh my God. Hip play. I want to see this.
Mainly reserved for those with disabilities or even uneven limbs. But now, doctors are offering elective lengthening procedures
Mm-hmm.
at a few inches to their height. Are these procedures the future of cosmetic surgery, or are they too good to be true? Here with us today is orthopedic surgeon and founder of the Limb-Plastics Institute, Dr. Kevin Devitt-Parshad, along with his patient, David. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
As a patient who's had this procedure, what motivated you to do it?
It's definitely a confidence booster for me. I mean, I definitely wanted to get taller. I started off around a little over 5'7". I was able to get to 5'9", which is the industry standard for males in the U.S.
So almost 2 inches.
And having gone through it, no regrets.
I don't have any regret.
What?
Probably regretted it a gazillion times going through it. It's definitely, it is a painful procedure.
Can you walk us through what that process is like and the pain and rehabilitation? Because again, part of it is cost, part of it is safety, and then part of it's the recovery.
Yeah, so I mean, within the second day, I'm out of the hospital bed and I'm doing laps around the hospital with my walker. On the third day, I'm released. I start physical therapy, and within about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm
Get
off the
taller, but you
walker
with a
and
walker.
I'm walking. After about 2 months of doing that, then you go into a phase of healing. So it takes a long time for the bone to actually harden. So you do a lot of visits back to the office, do a lot of x-rays, checking that out. And then once it's solidified in the legs, you go back in for a procedure where he'll remove it. That's an outpatient procedure. It's hardly any pain at all. Within a couple of weeks, I was back to normal.
Is the insurance going to pay for that?
No, it's elective, man. It's
Yeah.
elective.
Sure. So from a simplistic standpoint,
So if you save your money,
essentially
you can
just
get
going
taller.
in, either to the thigh bone, which is the femur, or the lower leg bone, the tibia, and we're essentially separating that bone by cutting it, placing this implant in position. That responds to a remote control that slowly lengthens the tissue, and then patients can become 3 to 6 inches taller, just depending on if they get 1 or 2 procedures. Pretty minimally invasive. It's
You see
guided
that?
by X-ray.
3 to
So we do
6
the entire
inches
surgery
Did
taller.
you
by
see
X-ray.
the height thing that it just showed up there?
Yes, yeah.
Because that was kind of. Did you see the difference? Look on the left and right. Look at that right there.
Pretty minimally invasive.
Look at that.
It's guided by X-ray, so we do the entire surgery by X-ray. So it's 4 to 6 very small incisions that we either place around the thigh or the lower leg. What we end up doing, and I'll just use this model here, we try to make a little window into the bone itself, so we gain access to the tunnel of the bone. Then what we do is we actually place the device actually into the actual tunnel. Okay. Prior to that, we are separating the bone through a small incision. We then lock it or transfix it with the screws at the top and the bottom of the actual implant. Then that nail actually responds to an external remote control that the patients get.
Remote control.
Approximately a millimeter a day, so it takes about 25 days or so to get an inch. Generally, patients are up walking the same day of surgery with the therapist, or they'll start walking the next day.
Bro.
It takes a couple of weeks to return back to your
Bro.
activity.
I'm saying no.
Bro.
For 2 inches?
Bro.
And
A
then
millimeter a
once
day.
they-
That's what we're doing.
Goes through this. Are their bones strong? Like, how does this impact their ability to say participate in sports and their usual gait?
The more length that you try to achieve, it can impact or depreciate some of your high-level functioning, like your athletic ability. So what I generally tell patients is that you're getting the height or you're trading it for something. It's not free, and
Yes.
And that is potentially some depreciation in that athletic ability.
Long term.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
So new.
When you get old, what happens?
This increased load on a hip joint, which then may increase load on the spine for your patients.
Sure, and we have some data. We've looked at, for instance, the geometry around joints and looking to see if there's any changes in that. We actually don't see much changing around the joints themselves, around the hip, the knee.
He's not old enough to know.
We do have a lot of information and data and see that there doesn't look to
He's
be
not old enough to
in
know.
some patients.
But
We
how much
actually
data do they have
children,
to,
trauma patients? So that
This
data does
is
exist.
to go with?
Now,
Yeah.
though, with
Yeah, you know what I'm
technology,
saying?
new
He doesn't have
accessibility,
enough. It has to be
allowing people
long
to look
term.
as an elective procedure to actually be taller.
Because
much
he's
would
not going
a
to have the
case like
information
this
because he
cost?
ain't been doing it
So
that
this
long.
wouldn't be covered by
Right.
insurance from the cosmetic perspective. The general price starts at about $76,000, and half of that cost is really the implant because the implants are extremely expensive.
People who done saved up their money for a lifetimes of savings for the average person, or people who can really afford it, because you're going to be at work for a lengthy amount of time probably. So no, is it to get 3 inches, 2 inches?
No,
No.
don't do it. I mean, you like I said, you can kill me in the comments and I want to be taller. I want to be. You're not as height challenged as I am. Man, embrace where you at.
Yes.
We talked about this with the women. Embrace where you at. You don't have to have the big butt and the big breast. And the guy, you don't have to be tall.
Yes.
You don't have to be. Guarantee, yes, women have their little preference, but I guarantee the real women, they prefer a real man, no matter what.
Say that one more time. Say that. Sometimes you go ahead.
I'm just saying, like the real women prefer a real man, and you don't have to do any of that. If they can acknowledge and see what you're actually displaying, they not worried about your height.
Yeah.
They not. They don't even care nothing about it. They looking at what you can bring to the table, and what you can bring to the table outshines any elective surgery. Jesus. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
So Kane, you never gonna be 5'7", so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm pretty short. I guess I look like I'm pretty short. Yeah, nah.
Hey.
negative.
Hey,
But still though, even though I'm not short, the thing is, and I know women like to have that comfort feeling. It's that comfort feeling of a taller man or whatever. But like I say, a real woman will find that comfort feeling in what he has to offer her, and it's not all about height. That's how I feel. I don't know how you feel about it, Mitch.
No, you're right on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I support you. You support me. You're gonna get what you see. I'm not walking around with no stacks on trying to be somebody who I'm not. Okay. And that's all it is.
Yeah, it's the real me. This is what you get. You know, if you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. That's exactly what it is. It really is black and white. A lot of other people may make it differently, but it's black and white. You're gonna love me, you're gonna hate me. Yeah. That's it. That's how I feel. So I would say to men that are thinking about this, don't do it.
$76,000.
The $76K, you can put that in some kind of investment property, and then you and your lady can go out and travel the world or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. It's not that. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. That's how I say, don't do it. Don't invest your money into it. I get it. It's a mental thing, and then we talked about it with the women, that it's a self-esteem thing. You need to get yourself in check and know that what you have is what God gave you, and you better embrace it, because that's what God gave you. God didn't say, all right, here's what I give you, change it if you don't like it. No, this is what God gave you. Respect that, and respect God, and respect yourself.
Amen. And can we give him some claps on that? You know, thank you. We might take up the collection. Yes, roger that.
Uncomfortable truth.
Out.